Hello, all the people. It's me, Craigie B, and today is Wednesday, March 26th, and it is 7:15 a.m. And I'm going to talk about a thing that made me think about another thing to do with multiple sclerosis, and it first transpired as part of my personal journey with the condition, but I was reminded of this morning when viewing a video by a fellow MSer and his personal journey and his experiences. And as I now have a growing band of friends who share the condition with me, I thought now would be a good time to mention this thing. So, it's this. Shortly after I received my formal diagnosis of multiple sclerosis, I spent time, it was within about a month, with a neuropsychologist who very quickly helped me hone in on a pattern that had occurred throughout my life, going way back more than 20 years before my diagnosis. And he helped me see that all my worst health episodes throughout my personal history had all followed extended periods of stress. And what my neuropsychologist said to me was, I've been interviewing people like you for 30 years and counting, and every single one of them that ends up in hospital, it's always the same thing. It's always this one thing, it's stress. You need to find ways and mechanisms for managing stress. This can be your exposure to stress in the first place, which you cannot always control, but there's other things you can do. You can manage the way you respond to stress. You can change the way you think about things that cause you stress. You can do all sorts of things. You can do meditation, the rest of it. This led me on a journey of self discovery and study of my own thinking, seeking out things that cause me stress and asking myself the questions, well, does this really matter? And changing and reframing the way I thought about many different things. This is only one example of the things that I have done, and in order to manage my exposure to stress. And I can tell you from personal experience, this has helped me enormously. And after having great success managing my condition just by doing these things, I then experienced a graphic example of what my neuropsychologist had been telling me about when I went through a very stressful period of time with my dad when he became ill. I became his full-time carer, and it was an incredibly stressful situation, but I would not have changed it for the world. It was a privilege to care for my dad. I owed him so much. I owed him my life, and uh, and then after he passed, the accumulation of the stress that had gone with it, because he became a hazard in the house, so I could never switch off. I always had to have eyes in the back of my head. It was, I imagine, a lot like raising a baby. um, but I don't know. I don't have kids. Anyway, I took this information back to the surgeon who had managed my case when I was inside hospital, and when I shared what I'd learned from my neuropsychologist and that he'd had 30 years working with people with MS, my surgeon, he wrote down, he didn't say a lot, but I saw him writing stress phenomenon, and he verbalized it as he wrote it down. Stress phenomenon. And I I was amazed. In that moment, I was gobsmacked that he wrote down stress phenomenon as opposed to recognizing what I was saying as a thing that is known by MS surgeons, neurosurgeons. So after being astonished at first and then reflecting on the way our national health system works. The way it is overloaded, the system is overloaded, and then people within it are overloaded. I imagine there's many of them doing the things they've always done for many years because they don't have time for anything else. It's a stressful world in which they operate. And so I, I quickly formulated the hypothesis that maybe there's people in these different branches that just don't have the time to share what their discoveries with one another. So I am incredibly grateful that I had the good fortune to actually meet and spend time with one of my surgeon's colleagues inside the very same National Health Service. And it was a fortuitous referral that I had because it was a guy who worked at a different hospital. And it's made me realize that those of us with MS, we need to seek our own solutions because these people don't have the time. They're too stressed and overworked to share their discoveries with one another. I mean, it's a crying shame, but it's not their fault. These people are amazing people. They're doing the best they can in the circumstances within which they operate. I just wanted to share this because it has dawned on me that there's so many people living with my condition that don't know that this could be a huge factor in the cause of symptoms. It's not managing the stress is not a cure because there is no known cure. But to me, it is blindingly obvious that managing stress and exposure to stress and the way we respond to stress is has the power to be an incredibly effective way of managing this condition. I'm just going to leave it at that for today because my discoveries this week in seeing what different people are talking about, people who are living and working with this condition, it's given me cause to set an action for myself to go away and explore, investigate this and find out more and document my discoveries, my learnings, and sharing them not only here on the Book of Many Faces, but also inside my brand new community, which is on the school platform, SKOOL. It's called Neurocheckers. And that's all. I'm going to leave it at that for now, with a promise that I will come back with more information in the future. Bye for now.